Now to a more serious topic. We've been following this. The rapid fall of media mogul Harvey Weinstein and actor Kevin Spacey following reports of sexual harassment and assault. Well, we all know it shook the entertainment world.
It definitely did. And this has prompted the airing of allegations against other Hollywood power players. So how do you combat these advances in your workplace? Well, joining us now is communications expert Sherhara Downing to talk about what you need to know if you find yourself in these uncomfortable situations.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm so happy to be back here. And, you know, some people are finding themselves to be back at work on a Monday morning. And when I first thought about this concept of what are people supposed to do when you know you have someone, especially a superior, that is making you feel uncomfortable and to the even worse degree has assaulted you or actually has violated you, how do you go to work on a Monday and be able to tackle that? How do you,
I think a number of women have just at some point in their life experienced this, but it's different in the workplace versus on the street. You can't just tell someone to buzz off.
It is. And you know, the thing is if you have the courage, like if someone that you know, especially a superior when it becomes more difficult, if you have the courage to just call them out right then and there, wait a minute, that made me feel uncomfortable. Hold on, I'm sorry, but that was a bit inappropriate. Then I would say do it, because the quicker that you can nip it in the bud and say that is not acceptable and that is, you know, a behavior that makes me feel uncomfortable, the better. But oftentimes it doesn't just happen like that. Oftentimes you're like, wait a minute, did that just happen?
You have an emotional reaction and you're shocked.
Did that just happen? Did he just say that? Or, you know, and I'm not going to leave the guys hanging out. You know, is she really coming at me like that? I think that I thought to myself, what is it that if someone's watching this show today, what could they actually do? What's an actionable when they go to work on Monday and then on Tuesday and for the rest of the week? And I would say if it's happening, if it's happened before, or if it's occurring, document it.
Okay.
Write it down. Even send an email to yourself. You know, if you don't have it written down, it never happened. But I also think it's a great way to then write down how you feel. Because when you're in an emotional place, sometimes you don't articulate yourself in the best way. Your emotions start rising and then you're just thinking and you're talking, you're thinking and you're talking. But when it's time to confront that superior, it's good to have your ideas, your feelings written down so you have a very thorough idea as to how you feel.
And via email, you have a timestamp and date,
Exactly,
which is nice.
exactly. And then the second thing I would offer people to do, especially if they're in that compromised situation, is you have to find perhaps another superior or another equal of that person that violated you, that offended you, to bring in on that conversation. One, because if you violated me, I wouldn't want to go to you and then express these grievances and then you turn and tell someone else and then it becomes a whole other conversation.
Yes.
I want a witness. And I also want someone to validate my feelings as well. So identify someone that you trust, identify someone who perhaps is on the same level as the person who has offended you, and then that can neutralize the situation as well.
Right, and it prevents it from getting worse, too.
Exactly, exactly. And then the last thing, of course, is you got to have that meeting. You have to be able to confront the person, because like I said, if you don't say that this is unacceptable, then that behavior will continue, or at least they'll believe that they can continue to do that. So when you have that meeting, set it up just like you would set up any other meeting, and invite that person that you identified as your person that's going to be there to help you through that, and also to be the witness.
Yeah,
I call that a PIC, partner in crime.
Yes. A lot of people just afraid of that retaliation, but it sounds like you're saying this is something that has to be handled head on.
It is, and you know, and when you document it and you write it down, also take those notes to the meeting with you, and then say, you know what, whoever the person's name is, I remember it happened on this day, it happened on this day, it was an occasion on this day, and on each occasion I felt this way, and on each occasion you made me feel this way, and let them know that you may not even be aware that that has put me in an uncomfortable situation. And of course we also know that it gets even more serious, and you may have to invite HR.
Okay, good tips there. For more information on how you can combat advances and learn about Sherhara, just head over to Sherhara.com. Thanks for being here, lady.